Avodas El Shir number 12. In the previous year, we established that the calendar miscalculation at the Chet Egel was not a simple mathematical error, but was driven by a subconscious desire for permissiveness. Like the Gemara Sanhedrin said, as we put down yesterday and on 63b, that they really wanted to do Arayas openly, that's what caused them to do Avodah Zarah. Based on this foundational insight, we now resolve the 4 questions raised in last night's shir 11, regarding the Kiyah Shofar blown in Chodesh Elul. Number 1, why framed it as preventing Avodah Zarah? Why was it framed as such? Because the Shofar was not merely a technical date announcement, since the root of the calendar error, quote unquote, was a subconscious drive towards sin and Avodah Zarah. The Shofar had to target that internal root, directly shattering Bnei Yisrael's subconscious stubbornness and driving them to true tshuva, so they would not fall back into Avodah Zarah. Question number 2: how does an announcement connect to a full month of tshuva? Since the true purpose of the Shofar on Rosh Chodesh Elul was to rouse tshuva, Chazal expanded the custom to blow the Shofar throughout the entire month of Elul, as the Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva 3:4 writes, Uri Yeshenim Mishenaschem, awake sleepers from your sleep. The Shofar instills a fear, Va'om Yecharadu, as we put down yesterday, breaks the habitual stubbornness and awakens us to prepare for the upcoming Yom Adin. Number 3, why did the Shofar cause Hashem to be elevated? The Midrash states, Allah Elokim B'Tshua, Hashem B'Kol Shofar. We break up the pasuk in 2. This is Tehillim Mem Zayin Vav. Elokim represents Midas Adin, strict judgment, and Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei represents Midas Arachamim, compassion and mercy. When Klal Yisrael repented through the awakening of the Shofar, their human effort from below transformed the strict judgment Elokim into divine mercy Yud Kei Vav Kei. This profound transformation of divine attributes is a deeper meaning of Hashem being quote unquote elevated nis'ala through the Shofar. Number 4, why commemorate this annually? The 40 days of Rosh Chodesh Elul through Yom Kippur are inherently days of Yimei Rachamim. Blowing the Shofar every year reawakens that exact same power to transform judgment into mercy in our lives. To complete our understanding of this 40-day period, we examined the event occurring on Har Sinai during these days, the preparation and receiving of the second Luchos. Central difficulty: why did receiving the second Luchos require an additional full 40 days and 40 nights on Har Sinai? Moshe Rabbeinu had already spent 40 days learning the entire Torah during his first stay. What was newly accomplished during these third 40 days? So let's compare the first Luchos and the second Luchos. First Luchos were created supernaturally by Shemayim, Ma'aseh Elokim Heimo, it says in the pasuk, and the second set of Luchos were carved by human hands from below. Pesal Luchos Shnei Luchos Havana. The origin of this Ksav was engraved directly by Shemayim in the first Luchos. Second Luchos was also engraved by Shemayim, but upon humanly carved stones. The spiritual state of the first Luchos was pure, unearned gift from above, like the level of Adam Arishon before the first Chet. And the second set of Luchos were earned through human labor of tshuva and Mesiras Nefesh. The Radvaz explains a deep symbolic transformation between the two sets of Luchos. After Klal Yisrael fell through the Chet Egel, we were no longer on the pristine level of receiving a free, supernatural, pure heart from above. Hashem commanded Moshe, Pesal lecha, carve for yourself. This is in Shemois Lamed Dalet Aleph. In the pathway of tshuva, human beings must exert hard work and Mesiras Nefesh from below Milvar to chip away and carve out the physical stone blockages, the Orlas Halev, from their own hearts. Once a person carves their own heart from below, Hashem engraves his Ratzon directly onto that carved heart. Chazal teach the word Choris al Haluchos. This is in Pirkei Avos. This next thing I'm going to say is in Pirkei Avos 6:2. Al Tikra Choris. Do not read Choris as they carved the Luchos. Ela Cheris. She'en Lacha Ben Chayrin Ela Misha Oisei B'Tavat Torah. Do not read Choris as they carved, but Cheris freedom. For there is no free person except one who engages in Torah study. When a person carves Hashem's Ratzon into their own heart through effort, they achieve the ultimate freedom from the Yetzer Hara and their physical lusts. The third 40-day period, Rosh Chodesh El through Yom Kippur, was required to relearn and absorb the Torah through the completely new framework, not as a passive, unearned gift, but through the active labor of tshuva, self-carving, and spiritual elevation after having fallen. So, to summarize our mindset, the voice of the Shofar awakens. The Shofar in Elul is designed to shatter our subconscious stubbornness, break surface excuses, and transform Midas Adin into Midas Arachamim. Pasal Lecha, carve for yourself. Do the internal work. The true tshuva in Elul requires Pasal Lecha, putting in the personal effort to carve out the stony blockages of your own heart. Re-engrave Hashem's Ratzon. When you carve your heart from below, Hashem engraves his Torah and his Ratzon from above, granting you true spiritual freedom, the Cheres, and eternal closeness. Have a wonderful evening.